Um, this is the guest speaker, Kathleen McDermott. She is the McKinley Carter Wealth Services. She's a representative for them. It's a nonprofit organization. She really came in. I mean, she talked a lot about finance, strategic planning, and how important those things were in the nonprofit and what we're going into. The big thing she talked about with the finance was the difference between nonprofit and for-profit. Like, nonprofits really, like, in the eyes of the public is like how that's run, like what the public thinks that would be best for those situations, and the way the money's spent, especially for a nonprofit. Like, it's not really that she said that they can't make money. I mean, they can make money. I mean, and they can use it for as long as the money goes back into the mission of the whole program. Like she used, for instance, and I work at the Schrader Center, so she used that as an example. Like, if we have a program and we make a huge bunch of money off of it, just as an example, just say it was to happen, and we're giving back to the building or using that money to like further other future lessons or future activities like the kids do or the people in the community, anything, art shows, whatever. Like, as long as it's giving back to that, to the goal of the of the organization, then it's okay to use, and even to save. She said they can save some of it for like if they have a problem or something. The most important thing about nonprofit is the people that run it don't really decide what the money's spent on unless it's, like I said, extra revenue or something, or they have to run it by the boards and stuff first, which is a big thing which we've just recently started getting into, is how important boards and allocation things are in the nonprofit world, because I mean, you don't really get to decide how the money's spent because you're not really there to make money. I mean, you can make money, but you're not there to make this huge profit off of these public organizations and things like that. She talked a lot about endowments and fundraising and how important fundraising was, with even like the difference between fundraising and grants, etc., etc. Another thing she talked about, she gives this big packet on the boards, like what actual board members do and how they interact with the people who run, like the directors of like the Schrader Center and the Stifel Fine Arts Center, like what those people actually do and how they interact with the board, and how important the board is in keeping the board happy and making sure that things are done right so that the money can be spent right, and that the programs usually don't go under. And strategic planning was another big thing she had discussed, on how important it was to get your whole team involved with the strategic planning. Like, if you worked at the Stifel Center and you guys were programming for next summer or something, and you don't have the whole team on board with the same idea. I mean, not everybody's going to have the same idea, but they can come up with, I mean, they can feed off of each other. But she discussed like how important it is to have everybody involved in the strategic planning so that you know how it goes and that your team can make it work. Also, strategic planning helps identify your goal for the whole overall the organization, and it improves your program. And strategic planning really is basically what she said was where the program or the organization is going to be within the next 2 to 3 years. And it helps learn how the organization is going to grow, which was also important. She had done a lot of things, and then she also just barely stressed about how important communication skills are and volunteering, which we get into with more of our guest speakers. So, yep, this was the Kathleen McDermott, yep, from last Friday.